Hello everybody, this is Laura Thurban. I'm an art therapy coach. This is just a person that looks to the mirror constantly, that has a lot of selfishness. We are in a society that actually narcissism is something that is approved. It's okay. How we can actually see some signs in narcissists. So you don't have to spend 1 year or 5 years or 7 years or 30 years in a relationship with a narcissist, and maybe you becoming an alcoholic or a drug addict or commit suicide or end up in a hospital just because you are with a person that is absolutely toxic. Maybe you are a person that is watching this video and you have just not a good relationship with your partner, with your husband, with your wife, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, and you just are confused and you do not know what's going on. A narcissist is very hard to spot. Even for a mental health professional, feel that something is wrong. Is that something is wrong? You need to trust. And I know you will ask me, how can you trust if I have been gaslighted? If the reality that somebody showed me was not the reality that I was experiencing? I know that is the catch of the narcissist. They will absolutely tear apart your reality, make you doubt everything you think and everything you say and everything that happened, everything in your past, everything in your present. Nothing is happening the way you see it. That's what they say. And their best weapon is their word. Really fast class on how a narcissistic speech is not for communication. You, as a good person, as a normal person, you want to use your speech to communicate and to solve problems. For a narcissist, communication is just a weapon. It's not for communicating. It's not for extending a bridge so you can solve your problems and you can just, talk about things. No, I'm sorry. It will never be. And it is like trying to talk to a person that is absolutely crazy in the street or absolutely drugged up, and you're trying to convince a person to listen to your reasoning. They can't. The same is with narcissists. There's some behaviors that you can actually see, not easily, but you have to pay attention. And of course, after being in an abusive relationship, probably you are like with your eyes open and your ears open and trying never to go to a narcissist. But sometimes happens because our patterns of behavior, if they are not broken, if you have not been able to just pass the trauma, if you are still, you have a raw heart and you still feel some hatred, and you have not done your shadow work, you're gonna go back to it. That's the truth. Because if we got in a relationship with a narcissist, it's that we have a past with something really, really hurtful. And until you don't address that part of you and that problem, then you cannot move on. You're gonna keep repeating the same patterns. So nobody's gonna save you but yourself. You have to do the work. So I will explain that, but first, let's do the first step. So when you see a person that is showing superiority, when you see a person that is looking like indifferent or powerful, or for example, he observes others real attentively, but he doesn't engage in conversation, look at them like they're less than him, because he has more money, because he has more whatever. The one that wants to be served first in a restaurant, or the one that skips the line because they feel they have more rights, or that they are special. The one that is talking, like if something happens in a store, the one that straight goes, I want to talk to your boss, I want to talk to you, because boss to boss. So there's a lot of equality, but a narcissist is always, he needs to feel the smartest. He thinks that he is, and that he is different from everybody else, so that he deserves a special treatment. So if you catch a glimpse of that, I'm not saying that that's a narcissist, it can be narcissist traits, but open your eyes and just pay attention. Like he's special. Like in a restaurant, if he has a temper tantrum, he has like a rage that is just coming because he felt criticized. Sometimes it's not a direct criticism to himself, but he just heard something and he thought that it was direct criticism or read something. Then if he has a narcissistic rage, if he has like this reaction that is way too much for whatever happened, pay attention. Remember that narcissists, they don't know how to love. They don't love. They can't love. There's no loving button in their machine. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you will feel that the person hates you. And you will try to prove that you are lovable and that you are nice and that you're trying your best and that you want this relationship to work. But you need to understand that this is only on your side. The narcissist doesn't have the same feelings. He's not a normal person. If you understand that he's not a normal person, you will stop treating the narcissist as a normal person because they're not. They're not. Narcissist seeks to be admired. So communication is going to be used to create admiration. No interest in others. It's just words. Okay? He needs to manipulate. He needs to lie because he is looking for a victim or a supply. There's no other way of seeing his language. Like the language that comes out is just because it needs narcissistic supply. So all the loving, caring, kind words, they're not feeling it. And then it's really hard after having this like absolutely incredible, amazing person, because that's what they do. They mirror you and then they transform into the reflection of you. So that should tell you how amazing you are. That you can actually see in the mirror, and what they did was trying to copy you, your sense of love or kindness. If you are an empath, if you have compassion, they're gonna copy, mimic all of them, but they do not feel like you do, or like I do, like a normal human being does. They just can't. And sometimes that's the way of waking up, because if you see a person in the street that is crazy, you will never go and try to have a conversation and a discussion about feelings with that man or woman, because your heart is full of compassion and actually you know that the person cannot understand you. I think the same about a narcissist. It's the same. They can't understand. I'm paranoid. So listen when the narcissists say, my friends are confabulating against me and they are not inviting me to their parties because they hate me, or they envy me because I'm so much better, superior than them. Well, they do believe that. And they do believe that all their friends are really confabulating. It's a paranoia that they have. So if you hear that from a narcissist, pay attention, put it in your list. And then the other thing that I can suggest is listen to your gut feeling. Your gut feeling is going to tell you. You will feel it. You are going to feel like, why I feel that this is not right. Why I feel that I cannot breathe. Why is this so overwhelming to me? Listen to that. Listen, grab your things, and run away before it's too late. Run for your life. When you try to talk about this problem with somebody else, nobody will believe you. Not your family, not your friends. Maybe your friends can be supportive. Maybe they can tell you, yes, we understand. But they don't. Because you need to understand that the attack is to the victim. You are the victim. You are going to get attacked. The rest will only see the package. You know what is inside the box. But everybody sees the beautiful wrapping paper, the outside of the box, that very kind, nice, loving, probably the party person, the wonderful, I don't know, cook or whatever he does with your friends or family. They see the outside of the box, but you know the content. And nobody will understand you. And actually, not your friends, your psychologists, your psychiatrists, your lawyer, your family, your mom, your dad, they cannot see it because the only one that is wrapped inside that box is you. He's sucking you as the supply. You are in that dark box. All the rest are outside looking to the package. You're the only one that really knows what's happening. And you need to believe in yourself, no matter what the narcissist is trying to make you believe. When you're having a discussion with a narcissist, you are going to be the villain. That is made that way because a narcissist they can't see it in another way. That's their comfort zone. That's where they can be what they are, kind of human. If they will accept that they are harming somebody, actually they don't even have the possibility of even thinking that they might be hurting somebody. That's why a narcissist can never ask, am I a narcissist? Okay, so they need you to be the villain, and you will be. You will be transformed into the villain in all and every discussion that you have. He will make sure that you have a reaction towards his action, and then he will point at you and say, see, you are the villain. You are the narcissist. And because usually the ones that are involved with a narcissist, a codependent or an empath, we will start asking ourselves, oh my gosh, why did I react that bad? Why did I say that? And at the end, we end up apologizing and we end up feeling guilty. But all of that was created for you to have the part in the play that he wanted you to play the villain, and he made you. So every time I remember me apologizing and feeling guilty for hours. Well, I wish somebody would have told me, he made you the villain. You're just playing exactly what he assigned you to. This is like a movie. It's like, I don't know, a theater. Like, he's the director. And he will make you whatever he wants you to be. He is, or she is, the most advanced, incredible puppeteer that you can imagine, because they cannot see inside themselves. There is no way that they can see in depth in their heart. They can't. You have been brainwashed to believe that you are the abuser, and you start believing it, and you start actually disappearing, trying to get smaller and littler because you feel guilty, because you feel bad. And that's actually the performance that he's expecting you to. Remember that narcissists, they don't want to communicate with you. They don't. You want to communicate. You want to talk about things. You want to make everything better. Narcissists don't communicate. They only use language as a weapon. To impress, they use it to evade things, to confuse you, or to manipulate you. That is why a narcissist uses language. Language is their best weapon. When they talk in a charming way, you will believe them. When they promise, you want to believe them. Because a narcissist, what they are doing is they are acting with your own psychological hurts and traumas. They will use everything that will hurt you, or that will make you feel love, or what they will make you feel coerced or angry. They will use it depending on their purpose. Language is a weapon. Language is not to communicate. If you're talking to a narcissist, don't think that they're thinking like you. Don't think that they want to fix your relationship. They don't. They don't. The only thing that they want to do is try to impress people with their amazing vocabulary. They'll try to evade something, so they will just talk without any conclusions, and they will know how to have an open-ended gray statement, or a really they choose words that they can be related in several different ways, in two different ways, or phrases that have gray areas, or phrases that they can be used in both ways. So they always have escape, and it's always going to be your fault that you didn't interpret what they say the way that they wanted to, and it's your fault, and it's your vision, and your vision is wrong. So if they're not trying to impress or evade, they're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to suck you in a relationship, to hover you back, love bombing. But at the end, all what they want is for themselves. They don't have the capacity to love. They confuse you, so they can manipulate you. So whatever they say, they can say that they didn't say that, or they didn't mean to say what they said, or they didn't say what they say, and or whatever you think they say, they didn't. So they're always trying to get like something that they can evade and be able to have another way of seeing, to confuse you, to manipulate you, or just for fun. You want the truth, and you like corner the narcissist to tell you the truth. What the only thing that they're gonna get is an exaggeration, a lie. He has to talk about something that happened. He will never tell you the truth directly. They will justify what they did. It will always be somebody else's fault. They can create another reality. No matter what the narcissist is saying, don't listen to the words. Just see the actions. So imagine that you can put the volume down, and you don't see, and you cannot hear anything that they are telling you. You just look at the actions. That's what's going to tell you exactly what's happening. Sometimes the words in the narcissist, the only purpose is to create disorientation, to create confusion in you, to create disbelief in yourself. Please be vigilant. If you think that there's something wrong and that you don't understand what's happening, just be careful, and never stop believing in yourself. Don't stop believing in your senses. They're gonna tell you that something is wrong. Don't stop believing in your memories. Don't stop believing in your identity. Do not stop trying to believe in what the narcissist is convincing you to, because that's where you won't notice what's happening. And when you notice, it's gonna be way too late. Believe in it. You were talking about something that you wanted to discuss because it was important, and suddenly you just find yourself discussing and fighting about things that happened 3 years ago, 2 months ago, that had no relationship whatsoever with what you were talking about. That is a very powerful weapon of the narcissist. They can change subjects in you don't even realize, and you just keep going and play the part that the narcissist has assigned you in his horror movie. You are trying to confront the narcissist with the truth, or with your point of view, or just for him to consider your point of view. You need to understand, he already made up his mind. There's no other way to see it but his way. There's no other possibility. And he will get furious at you that you are questioning his reality with yours. Even if it's just a comment, even if it's just a conversation, he will get furious that you are confusing his non-reality with your reality. So this is a very powerful weapon, because when you're talking to a narcissist and you start doubting yourself, or fighting for something that was relevant for you, and you go in circles and circles and circles and never ending, and the reality that he's seeing is absolutely different than yours, and the things happen in a different way, you need to understand that he's changing your point of view, your truth, who you are. And you want this to work. You want this, and you hold the hope that this is going to work, that someday he is going to listen to you and consider your feelings. There is that defense mechanism in us. There is that sense of justice. There's that sense of love. There's that sense of respect. There's that sense of I'm valuable. There's the sense of I want him to know that he is valued. They will use all of this kindness for their purpose. They are going to use every bit of your love and your compassion and your kindness against yourself. Take notes. Write everything. How it happens, when it happened. So when things are out of control and he tells you that things didn't happen the way they happened, at least you have a record. When he needs to do paperwork, divorce papers, or contracts, or something that is important to you, I'm sorry, there's always something's gonna happen, unless it's for his own benefit. You're an empty room where they can echo what they say, and that's what they can listen. They won't listen. They cannot listen to you. You can cry, you can beg. They don't have the capability. They just don't. And it's better to understand it that way. Because if not, if you think that he's a normal person like you, it will drive you nuts. It's better to know this person is not doing right. This person is sick. Sadly, in America, narcissism is not considered a sickness. This is not the society we want for our children. It's not that we are the victim either. Because if we put ourselves as a victim, we cannot rise as we are. We cannot listen to our divine self, our inner self. We cannot recover our strength. So the first step to recovery for us is to understand that there's situations that happen. And all of these people that we encounter in this life is for us to know a lesson about ourselves. It's for us to learn more about me. All of this is just a lesson. And it's okay, and it shall pass. And then you can just walk away with your head up and not look back. But if you walk away with anger and resentment, that is what is going to tie you down to that narcissistic abuse again and again. It's better to work with your shadow work. It's better to work inside your heart. And whatever he did to you, that's his karma, not yours. And it's better to let go of that. That person is creating their own karma. It will come back. But you have nothing to do with it. You can let go, let karma do the rest, and look to the front, look to the future. Stop living in the past. Recognizing that is the first step. You can move on. And if you ask yourself, I'm so broken, how somebody's gonna love me? You're not broken. You're not. You're exactly the way that you need to be. With this lesson, you're going to make yourself stronger. You're going to be an example. You're going to thrive. You're going to start your real life. Because the changes that happened to me after this abuse, they were a miracle. And yes, I had to work on them. But that's the miracle. The miracle is the transformation. Look for your miracle. It's coming.